Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 18th of September. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director at Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. So this week we have Woodside, JB Hi-Fi, A2 Milk, Santana Minerals and Sunrise Energy Metals. So if you have a request, please send it through. Make sure you've signed up to the free newsletter, but our best recommendations come out on Tuesday in the Dynamic Investor Report. So make sure you are getting that report. But if you do enjoy these videos, we'd love you to share them on social media or even leave us a review. Our main business is in portfolio management, so if you'd like my personal help in managing your portfolio, then please let me know. And the advice here is general only. So we've got a weekly chart here of Woodside. We could see that there was a downtrend there for a while. It did break the downtrend, so it broke above it, came back to retest it and bounced off, so that's a positive. The shorter term, it is in a bit of a range, so yeah, it's sort of towards the bottom of that range. I mean, no clear sort of bounce at the moment. I mean, you could sort of look to tentatively sort of buy Woodside here and have a stop just under here, but ultimately if it can break this recent peak near $27, then that would be a more bullish sign. JB Hi-Fi, so if we look at the weekly, we could see in the past couple of years it's been trending really well and it's still trending. If we have a look at the daily chart, yeah, we did get this sort of big sell-off in August, but it basically gave us a V-shaped bounce. And usually when you see a V-shaped bounce, it then needs to consolidate. So we could see that it's sort of drifted back, generally sitting in the top half of this range, but starting to level out. So looking like it's, yeah, it looks bullish. Looks like it really wants to get going again. So I wouldn't be surprised if we soon see another rally in JB and it continues to a new high. A2 Milk, start off with the weekly. So it looked like there was a large base here. This is one that we've looked at before. Building a base, broke out, came back to retest it and then bounced off it nicely. So, that's a positive sign. It should continue higher from here. Short term, if we just have a look at the daily chart, we could see it, it is drifting back a bit after this strong move, but on next to no volume. So that's a good sign that it's coming back on hardly any volume. So I think any sort of dip, any further dip in A2 Milk looks like a buying opportunity. Okay, Santana. So, making nice progress over the past few years. After this sharp move up, sharp move down, but then it bounced and basically gave us an ascending triangle. So we could see that consolidated with an ascending triangle, rallied hard. So it's rallied really well out of this ascending triangle. It is near the old high, but I don't think we'll see a lot of selling because I think this consolidation here is what dealt with any sellers. So I wouldn't be surprised if it can, continue higher in the daily chart. Yeah, it looks like any sort of short-term dip, I think, is probably a buying opportunity. Finally, SRL, so having a cracking run. There were a number of sort of upside breaks, potentially could have been your buying opportunity. So you had this sort of consolidation, then a big move up on volume. Another sort of decent sort of, couple of breaks along the way on good volume, being the buying opportunity. Now it's going vertical. Volume is increasing on the way up, so it's all a positive. It's just really hard to know how far it can go. You can't chase it here, but generally when you start to see, a number of gap ups, it sort of gaps up, at least in a few times in a row. It's usually a sign it might be best to start trimming. And obviously if you're looking for an opportunity, you'd be looking for the next consolidation. Okay, well that's all for this week. If you have a request, send it through and we'll try to cover it next Thursday for you.